everybody, Mr. O here, and welcome to Abstract Human Form Sculpture Part 2. It's that mouthful there. And we left off with me working on my sketches, and I like the very first sketch that I did. As you can see, I changed the side view a little bit, and I worked on it. I'm still not 100% happy, but sometimes you just got to move on. I had my days of practice, and I really liked my thought on the front part of it, and I feel like as I'm sculpting, I can figure out the side. Now, does that mean I could change from my original plan? Absolutely, and don't worry about that. And well, I was just going to show you the tools we're going to be using today. We are still going to use the pencil, probably not the way you think we're going to do. And then I made myself a sculpture tool using paper clips and a popsicle stick. And now, if you have clay tools, the clay carving tools will work just perfectly, and there's enough of an edge to kind of use as a knife, because we don't need it sharp. Sometimes the plastic palette knives that are dull are just perfect for floral foam. You don't need anything sharp. When we use the term knife, it's just something dull to slice through the foam. And so what I'm going to do, let's review the definitions I'm hoping that you will remember from this. One is abstract, existing in thought as an idea, but not having a physical or concrete existence. So when I bring up human form, which is the artistic study of the human body shape, I want you to start seeing past the shell. Arms, legs, and into something deeper with your feelings of how you see things. When you do this project, you may have to close your eyes a lot and just kind of think through form and an image and feeling, and that's going to be challenging for you. And then those of you who are at home just doing it on yourself, take maybe a little more time, put some peaceful music on, and just do a lot of reflection. Now, here is the piece of floral foam I'm going to carve, and this is where I'm going to start with my pencil. The very first thing I'm going to do is carve my name, and since I'm just going to go by Mr. O, you can put your first name. If this is a class, you may want to go with a period, and that way if they get mixed up, so we know what my bottom's going to be, because as you can see, I left a base. When you carve and when you sketch, and something I probably didn't talk much about in the last video, is you're going to want to be able to stand this up. And by the way, this is my first carving video, so I apologize if there's heavy shadows and stuff like that. I'm learning, so maybe there would be a better way of doing this. And still using the pencil, watch what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of draw out my image. And that way, if I make a mistake, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to be carving a lot of this away. All right, I think I want to go a little thinner there. I want to get the same feel. It's amazing to me how Michelangelo used to be able just to see exactly what he's going to do. And that's why he was one of the great masters. Some of us, we need a little more work, and that's okay. And I think I got the image I want to do. Now, I want to just look at the side, which won't be as hard, and I'm not worrying about the curves just yet. This will tell me what kind of thickness I want as I'm carving. Now, when I'm using the term carving, an art term that you guys might be familiar with, but not used in art, is addition and subtraction. In this project, I'm going to be doing subtraction, which means I'm carving away. Isn't that what you do in math? You take things away. And then addition is when you add stuff. So like when you do clay, majority of clay is addition. Now, if you're carving away at the clay, that would be subtraction. And in this project, we are just going to do subtraction. Now, is there ways to do addition? Of course there is. There's ways to add things, and just for time's sake, we're not going to do that right now. Now, do I need to draw on this side or the back? No. I got my two sides as guides, and I'm going to start carving. Now, let me go over how to carve. It's not about strength. If I wanted to, I could really carve big chunks of this, but what's going to happen, it's going to snap. So using my carving tool, I am just going to take a little bit at a time, and not as much as I can. It will go faster if I took more, but what's going to happen, it's going to snap. Now, I know some of you out there are going to still want to try it, and then you'll be very disappointed when it snaps on you. I'm asking you to take your time with it. Now, there is a knife component here, and you can kind of cut in different ways, nice and smooth. If you need, see how I'm starting to cut an angle there? So if you want angles and yours is still looking a little blocky, the other thing, and the greatest tool, and you'll see me do this at the very end, when I'm sanding it, you can carve with your fingers and your thumb. Especially with sculpture, the greatest tool you got are your hands, so use them. Now, I won't lie to you. The green foam gets everywhere. It's kind of like sand. And if you clap your hands together, you're going to get it in somebody's eye. So you got to resist that. The other thing you're going to have to resist is blowing, stuff off your hands. You have to deal with it. Even right now, I want to clap my hands together, but I'll probably get the green dust all over the lens, and it's going to create a fuzzy picture. So just be very careful. And on the first 2 days, especially the first day, we're going to create a big pile. So I'm going to move this out right now, my little sculpture, because I'm probably going to just wrap this paper up that I have on top of my drawing table and get rid of that. So I'm going to put this in time lapse. I will see you at the end of the time lapse. All right, I'm back just for a little bit, just to show you how I got the majority, and of course there's still carving left to do. But what I'm going to do is move away from my carving tool, whether it's a clay carve tool or a popsicle stick with a paper clip on it or some other thing you formed. I'm going to start shaping it using my fingers. As I told you, the greatest tool, and anyone who's ever done carving with wood and stuff will tell you at the end, you're going to have to start sanding. So I'm going to start sanding with my finger and start forming the shape. So there's still some carving left to do, but I'm going to basically kind of do a polishing motion. Start rounding things off, and we'll see how it looks towards the end. Naturally, this is the long video, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cleanup, and then I will kind of do the final part, which will be part 3, and I will even talk about painting. As you can see, I am pretty much formed. Now there's going to be some touch up, and it's a little different than my sketches, and that's okay. Because when you go from sculpture, you just go with the feel, and I just let everything form itself from side to front, and there might be some changes, but I'll do that in front of you. As you can see, all the mess just from one block. So imagine when you do a classroom, you got to be very careful. There's going to be lots of cleanup, a lot of dustpan use. And like I commit just to throw away this paper that I use as a cover, but I do need to clean up everything. Guys, you are beautiful, and let's do this. Let's see if I can do this. Let's clear some dust there, and I'm going to draw a heart because you guys are loved. Okay? And never forget that. You have a beautiful day.